Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I have some work to do out here. So where I'm at right here is the area where we've had Sophie and Amos until recently. We have them kind of fenced off to stay over there. This is where our new field lines for our septic system were installed. So basically it's just a whole bunch of dirt with some leaves falling because autumn is beginning. The leaves are starting to fall, but you know, all of this bare dirt, we want to get stuff growing in here. You know, we did take down a whole bunch of trees, some giant sweet gum trees. There's still some more small ones to take down. But pretty much all of this got cleared out with the exception of there's a giant black walnut tree right here, and then over here there is a great big hickory nut tree. We kind of wanted those to stay. And then there's a bunch of trees over there, but all in there it's pretty much cleared out. So I just picked up a whole bunch of straw for the purpose of spreading it out where the seed's going to go. And I got a variety of different kinds of seeds. It is the end of summer, autumn is coming, and so I really wasn't sure what would be great to plant here. So I got two different kinds of clover. I got some white clover and I got some of the crimson clover. That's that taller clover. It's just really good for pulling nitrogen out of the air and into the soil and enriching the soil. And then of course when the plant dies, when winter comes, it'll add nutrients to the soil as well. But then I got a mix of something that is for shady areas. I got like 10 pounds of seed of that. And then I got some rye because, I don't know, you just can't go wrong with rye in the fall. So I'm just going to grab, I've got a bucket in their trailer over there, which, you know, we've still not built an actual like little mini barn out here. So their trailer is where we store all of their stuff. But I have a bucket in there, so I'm going to get that, and I'm just going to kind of mix everything together. And of course, my seed spreader is, I don't know, maybe it got broke. I don't know. It's gone. So I'm just going to spread out the seed, and then I'll spread out the straw to, you know, try and hide the seed from the chickens as much as I can. And we'll go from there. But before I get started, so I had a couple of people talk about, in my last video, about Yom Teruah, some sounds that they were hearing, and my camera's about to die, so let me swap out my battery real quick. Okay. So there was a noise that people kept hearing in my Yom Teruah video, and I didn't say anything about it in the video, but because people were noticing, I thought I would share what that was. Like, every so often you might have heard like a low hum, a little like zzz kind of sound. I sat down in our gazebo over there and I started filming that video. And when I started going into the scriptures and sharing the scriptures, I had this huge, I think it was a hornet, just kind of came out of nowhere and started harassing me. And, you know, every so often I would wave it away, and, you know, I cut that all out so you weren't seeing all that in the video. And then after a few minutes, another one came, and y'all, I'm not even kidding, they came right in front of me, looked at each other, and then started doing, like, flybys and just buzzing me, like, non-stop harassing me. Until finally, at one point, I stopped what I was doing, and I prayed, and in you know, the name of Yeshua, I'm like, be gone. And at that point, they did not leave, but they did leave me alone. So they were still around, but they never came near me again after that. So if you heard that sound in that video, that's what was going on. It was the craziest thing. And of course, as soon as I got done, they were gone. So take that for what it is. Also, update on my hand. So my hand is doing better. It is healing, but I do still have to keep it protected. It's still very ugly colored. There's still a lot of deep bruising. There's, you know, bone contusions, which take a very long time to heal. It's like the bones themselves are actually bruised. And so this is just to keep my hand protected while I'm doing things, because if I bump it and bang it, it still is very painful. Alright, so this is a shade mix. Fescue, ryegrass, bluegrass, lawn grass, Bermuda grass. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, I think. So there's that. Alright, so we've got straight up rye, and I think I'll save this one for last and just spread that after I put everything else out. Alright, then I've got, again, some white clover, and crimson clover. Alright, so I'm just gonna mix all this together, and then I'm just gonna kind of walk and sling it. So I just noticed we had a big storm system come through here the other day, and this tree came down right here. So this tree, we knew it was dead, like it was a standing dead tree. And there's another one over there. I can show you that one just in a second. I thought I heard something out here, and it was this. And you know, we knew this tree was dead, but we left it alone because it looked like there was nests in here. I don't think there would be any eggs this time of year, but you can see there was like several deep holes which we felt were nests in this tree. And we have a lot of eastern screech owls, which are little bitty owls, and they like hollow trees near water, and we have a creek, so it's kind of the perfect place for them. But yeah, we knew this tree was dead, but we were going to just let it come down on its own, and it looks like yesterday was the day. The other big standing dead tree is over here. You can see it right here. It's this tree, and it's totally dead and hollow. But if you look up the trunk, you'll see a very big, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I might have to brighten this up when I edit. But there's a couple more very smooth big holes up there. One of them is really big. So I'm almost positive that is a nest of some sort. Very big, very smooth around the edges, well worn. So this is another one. It's a standing dead tree, but we're leaving it alone because, you know, we don't want to interfere with nests. You know what I mean? But here on the back side of it, you can see where the bottom is completely hollow, and it's hollow going all the way up. All the way up the tree. Now, right now, Sophie and Amos can't come out here at all. So, you know, we're not worried about these coming down and them getting hurt. Especially this one, because this is a pretty big, thick tree. But they're not coming down in here right now anyways. I got the bucket of seed cast. So now I'm going to grab the other bag and get that spread out, and then I will spread out the straw, and hopefully hopefully I got enough. I'm kind of thinking I don't, so I may run and get some more today when I get done here. And we will dump that in the bucket. The bucket's easier to carry than a bag. Oh, is my coffee over there? Yeah, I'm gonna get it in a minute. It's okay.
I'm going to stay here.
You're gonna stay right there? Okay.
You get the coffee.
Get my coffee? Okay.
I'll be here.
You stay here?
Get the coffee.
Okay, I'll get my coffee.
I'm busy.
You're busy? Okay. You working hard? Throwing all the gravel?
No, I'm going down one.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Is it fun? Careful. Oh, you're fine.
I got it. Yeah. It's falling.
Good job. Hello friends, so it is actually the next day. I finished up getting all of the straw and everything put away, spread out all over the area out there where I had seeded with a whole bunch of seeds. And hopefully at least a good portion of them, those seeds, will get the opportunity to grow before the chickens find them. I do need to go out there and set up one of my big sprinklers though, to water them, get them good and soaked. Get my oven going here. So I just got done filming my Sunday video, which is my newest video for September. It's a YouTube collaboration that goes all month long, and it's all soup recipes. And which, by the way, that video is already up by the time you see this one. I'm scheduled that for Sunday, and this will be going up sometime later that week. And I thought, you know, what goes with a really good soup? How about some biscuits? I haven't made garlic biscuits in a while. Mr. Smith absolutely loves my skillet cheddar biscuits, and that's what he's always wanting me to make. But these garlic biscuits, I haven't made these in forever. So I thought, you know, let's go ahead and make some of these. Now, I do have a video already of this recipe, the full recipe that I filmed several years ago. I'll put a link up in a card here for you somewhere, or in the video description down below. And of course, the recipe has been on my website for years. But this is just a super easy recipe. You can, they're drop biscuits, which you just scoop onto the baking pan. You can change up the seasoning in there. You can put a little bit of Old Bay seasoning in there. All sorts of good things like that. Salt. Alright, so now I'm just waiting for my oven to heat up, and I'm waiting for my butter to finish melting over there. Again, this is just a super easy recipe. Drop biscuits are so easy. You don't have to roll them out and cut them. Some people find that intimidating. So if you've got an ice cream scoop, it's the best way to do them, in my opinion. But if you don't, you can just take a spoon, a spatula, and just kind of scoop them into little blobs on your baking pan, and that's all you got to do. So normally when I make these, it calls for a little bit of sugar, but my sugar jar over there is empty. I really don't feel like digging out the buckets and refilling it, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of honey instead in here. And since it's a liquid, I'll just go ahead and add it to my milk, and I'll just kind of give that a stir as I pour it into the dry ingredients as soon as my butter's melted over there. Can never go wrong with honey. So I didn't have a video last week during the week. First of all, you know, I keep the biblical feasts, and this time of year there's several of them. So it kind of throws off my schedule a little bit. I'm not going to publish videos on like feast days or anything like that, because on holy days, they are generally a Shabbat, just like Saturday, just like the 7th day of the week. And so you don't want to be working on days like that. And, you know, of course I could schedule them ahead of time and everything, but you know, then I'm not going to be answering comments or engaging or anything like that. So I find it best to just not do a video on days like that. So there are several more days coming up over the next couple of weeks where there will be some holy days. And so my schedule for the videos in the next several weeks may be, well, it may fluctuate a little bit. So you'll just have to kind of watch. Of course, if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, You know, I'd love for you to sign up for that, because that way, a lot of times, not always, but most of the time when my schedule is going to be different, I let people know in the newsletter. I post updates on things that are going on and all of that. And, you know, it's just the best way to not miss anything here on Cosmopolitan Cornbread, whether it's on the channel or it's on my website. So a lot of questions about my hand. My hand is healing. It's not as strong as it was, but like right now, picking up this my little bitty skillet is not easy to do. But it will heal, I'm sure. It'll just take time to do that. I am still keeping it covered, and actually I think I mentioned that already yesterday when I was filming. I'm still keeping it covered to protect it, help it to heal so it doesn't get re-injured. Plus it's still kind of ugly looking. So I have some of these like therapeutic gloves that I bought to cover up my hand, like when I'm just doing everyday things. But I don't put it on when I'm cooking, because it's just way easier to throw this kind of like ace bandage thing on here. So when it gets dirty, I can just toss it. And those therapeutic gloves, you know, I don't have, I've only got a couple of them, and I don't want to have to wash them. I want to be able to wear them. So if I'm cooking, I either throw this on, or I'll throw on a not rubber glove, a nitrile glove to cover up my hand and everything. But like I said, it'll heal. It's just going to have to take time. All right, now I feel like this biscuit dough is a little softer than normal. I didn't mismeasure anything. I used the right ingredients, the right measurements, but I feel like it's a little on the mushy side. Oop. No, maybe not. Now that I just made a mess on the floor. So I get questions all the time about those pottery bowls that I have. I have several of them. I have the mixing bowls, the batter bowls, soup bowls, if you saw my video from the other day. A lot of my pottery, particularly those bowls, all came from the same place. It's olddogpottery.com. I've done a couple of trips there in person. They're located here in Arkansas, and they have a shop on Etsy, and they update it several times a year. They usually put posts out, especially on Instagram. They're very active there, letting people know when there's going to be a restock coming. But they have just all sorts of things that they make: bowls and mugs and pitchers and honey jars, like the one that I use for my salt. Just beautiful things. I'm a glutton for pottery. All right, y'all. When I mixed up that biscuit dough, I was looking at it and thinking to myself, this looks softer. But it'd been a long time since I had made these biscuits. I thought, well, maybe it's just, a softer dough, and I just don't remember because it's been so long. Oh no. These aren't my normal biscuits. They look almost like cookies. Oh, but I'm sure they'll be just fine when they come out here in just a minute. I'm going to brush a little bit of melted butter over the top, and they might not look right, but I'm sure they'll still taste good. It's one of those trust your instincts things in the kitchen. I almost added a little more flour because I was thinking these just don't look right. Should have listened to my gut. Woo! That was close. But they sure smell good, even if they don't look like they're supposed to. All right, I'm gonna let these cool while I go do evening chores. Ready? Say, Shabbat Shalom! Woohoo! Okay, blow your horn. Blow your horn. Shabbat Shalom! Good job. Do it again. Five times? Okay. Shabbat Shalom! Good job. Good job.